Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are coming back, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you. My name is Cassie, and on this channel, we talk all things of healing, self-love, and self-care, and of course, becoming your dream woman. And on today's episode, we are going to talk about how healing, dating, single parenthood, and how our nervous system has led up to why so many women are choosing not to have children. Yes, I'm seeing more and more of women, especially women in their 30s and beyond, are making a conscious decision not to have children. And it's not because they don't love family or that they're selfish. And it's not because they don't want love. No, it's because they are actually terrified of becoming a single parent. In a world where so many people are unhealed, emotionally unavailable, and unwilling to do the inner work that is required to sustain a healthy relationship, and honestly, I understand why. We hear all the time that there are billions of people in the world, right? Yes, that is true. But there are not a quality of billions of people. What we are currently seeing in the dating pool are filled with people who are unregulated, emotionally unavailable, carrying unhealed childhood trauma, addicted to chaos, novelty, and validation. They are also afraid of commitment, vulnerability, and responsibility. And when you're a woman who has done this healing work, or at least is aware of it, you can feel it immediately. Dating has become exhausting. It's no longer fun and exciting. Relationships actually feel pretty unsafe these days, and the idea of building a family inside this dynamic feels terrifying. And here's what people don't understand, and that's what most doctors and therapists rarely even start to explain. And it's our nervous systems are wired from our childhood. So if your childhood was chaotic, unpredictable, emotionally unsafe, filled with abandonment, inconsistency, or instability, then your nervous system has learned that chaos equals safety. Not healthy, not calm, and not stable, but familiar. So as adults, many people are unconsciously self-sabotaging good relationships. They are getting bored in healthy connections. They chase emotional highs because that feels exciting for them. They create drama because that's what they feel safe. They end up cheating, abandoning their families, or even constantly looking for the next best thing. Not because they're bad people, but because their nervous systems doesn't recognize calm as safe. So this is where people get stuck. Consciously, they say, I want a healthy relationship. I want a family. I want stability. I want love. But unconsciously, they are choosing partners, behaviors, and patterns that mirror their childhood wounds. And then they ask, man, why does this keep on happening to me? Well, because your nervous system is always going to choose what is familiar over what is healthy until you rewire it. Women are watching this. They are watching men walk away from their families, emotional labor fall entirely on them, mothers carrying the full weight of parenting, financial insecurity destroying women after divorce, single motherhood that became the norm instead of the exception. And many women are saying, oh, I don't want that life. Not because they don't want children, but because they don't want to do it alone. And I can understand that. And I'm going to share something personally because I don't speak from this area lightly. I became a single mother before my child was even born. My son's father, which was my longtime partner at that time, passed away tragically in a car accident. That moment changed my life forever. Later, I entered another relationship and I had a daughter. And we ended up separating. But when my daughter was 6, her father also passed away unexpectedly. So, yes, I know single motherhood a little too well. Not in theory, but because I actually lived it. To be honest with you, single motherhood is exhausting. You don't get breaks, you don't get softness, and you don't get to fully rest in your feminine energy. No, because you know what? You become the disciplinary person, you become the protector, the provider, the emotional regulator, the decision maker. You are everything all of the time. And when you are forced into this position, which ends up putting you into like survival mode, you can't always show up as a soft, nurturing mother that you want to be. No, you live in constant stress. You operate in masculine energy out of necessity. And this ends up impacting your relationship with your children, even when you're trying to do the best. And there's no manual for this. Most of us parent from our own wounds, our own upbringing, and our own unhealed patterns, unfortunately. And that's why healing is no longer optional. If we want healthy relationships, 2-parent households, emotionally stable children, connected families, secure partnerships, then both the man and the woman have to do this healing work. Not blame one another, not point fingers at who is the cause of this, not to avoid responsibility, but just to heal. Because we cannot keep repeating the same cycles and expecting a different outcome. No, we've tried to do that, right? And this is why I strongly believe that women should have their own income, build their skills up, create a savings for themselves, invest in themselves, and never fully rely on someone else for survival. Not because we don't want men, but because we want to have a choice in our life. And we want partners who are going to add to our lives and not ones who we depend on out of fear. No, that puts us in a very bad position, our nervous system in a bad position, and everything just is not in a good state there. So, we are living in a very disconnected world right now where people are craving connection, but they fear vulnerability. We are seeking validation, but avoiding intimacy. Healing changes that. And when you heal, you stop choosing chaos slowly but surely, right? It's not going to happen overnight, but it does happen. And you stop self-sabotaging. You become more aware that you are no longer interested in repeating these patterns. And you actually become a safer parent, a safer partner, and a better human all around. And that ripple affects down to different generations as well. So whether you want children or you don't want children or are already a parent or you're still deciding, healing is still the work that needs to be done. But not for perfection, but for peace. Not for control, but for connection. Not just for you, but for the world we are currently shaping. I love you and thank you for listening, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.